There 4825 on altitude, stop to RQ6
RQ6 cleared 1 no wind calm, check hold start contact wind 180 at 2535.
Welcome to episode 11. We're looking at the riveting of the horizontal stabilizer. We are starting this up. Now, this is the second part of the horizontal stabilizer riveting. I've already finished the rear spar. You can see that over there on the left. And I've already finished the forward spar. You can see that already attached. And I've started the skin. I've clecoed on the skin. The other part that I've done is I've done part of the substructure of the left and the right horizontal stabilizer. So those parts were pretty difficult. The hardest ones to get, it was that middle rib in the forward section, reaching up in there and holding a bucking bar while reaching over the top and shooting out with a gun. That was difficult. But I have already done that. That was in the previous video. So if you're looking for those sections, that was in the previous video. I had my wife help me. I'll just give you a heads up. That's really a lot easier to do as a two-person job. So you can cleco it all in, but then the clecos get in your way and make it really difficult to shoot. Anyway, I had my wife help me. Having a second person made that a lot easier. So now what you're seeing me do is the rivets in the middle of the substructure. The rivet order is really important here. Follow the plans. They're actually really specific with the rivet order on the horizontal stabilizer. I'm told that the plans get more complicated as you go, but the horizontal stabilizer plans were pretty good. The vertical stabilizer plans were not as explicit, but still good enough. And I suppose that I'll learn as I go, but a lot of people have warned me that the plans are going to not call things out and they're just going to expect you to do it. And that's kind of the way it goes. And I'll continue to make mistakes. I definitely made some mistakes because some of those because of the plans not being explicit enough. And people have mentioned that to vans many times and they apparently don't always fix it. So obviously I'm working kind of day and night. When you see the low light situation, this is nighttime, garage doors closed, lights aren't great inside there, but it's good enough for me to shoot rivets. So I'm just here doing every single flush rivet. Definitely watching TV. I think I started up watching Breaking Bad. There's a lot of different things you can do during this. You got to keep your mind occupied. I love having my kids around, but they're not going to be available and playing with me the whole time. These don't look too bad. Once you actually put a rivet in it, you remember seeing these in a previous episode where the dimples look bad, but once I actually riveted them, they didn't look as bad. So I'm not incredibly embarrassed by my flush rivets here. They're not great, but now you see the way that I did it was I clecoed 50% and did rivets in all those holes. And then I did the other, took off the clecos and riveted the rest. That seemed to work out really well for me. Now we're working on the other side of the horizontal stabilizer. This appears to be the right side, and you'll see me, you might get a different angle here. Maybe this will help, or maybe I'll be standing in front of it the entire time. But you see me now clecoing in that rib that I told you is a pain, and it's definitely a pain. So I've got those clecos in, and I'm firing in rivets right next to the clecos the best I can. Then I can take those clecos out and fire in the rest of the rivets. This one I did without the wife to help. She was busy, and honestly, I think it kind of went the same. I'm not saying that my wife did anything wrong, just saying that it was difficult. It was a challenge, and reaching all the way in there was its own pain. So you see now I'm putting the rest of the substructure on, getting it all in there together. And don't forget to do those rivets on the inside. That's actually pretty easy to forget. The ones that connect the substructure to the ribs. It's in the plans. So if you're following the checkboxes in the plans, you won't forget those rivets. And I'll give you a hint. There is a point on the elevators where I forget 2 rivets. and there is no way that I can squeeze or buck rivets in that section anymore because the back end of the rivet is inside the substructure. So now I'm stuck with using pulled rivets in those two situations. Luckily for me, they're not cosmetically required to be on the skin. They're inside the substructure. So I'm going to have to use pulled rivets. I've been told by an A&P that as long as you use Cherry Max rivets, you don't even have to consult anyone with engineering. But if you use anything less than a Cherry Max, then you need to make sure that somebody clears your plans and says, yes, this is structurally sound and it will work. So I went ahead and ordered Cherry Max rivets that'll work. What a pain that is, by the way. They have lots of different codes for rivets. It's not as simple as saying a 426 3-3, but make it a Cherry Max. Or in this case, it was a 470 3-3 or 4-3 or whatever it was. I think it was 4-3. But please make it Cherry Max. Wow. The different types of material that they use. You can get it steel, aluminum. Do you want the one where the core stays in and becomes plugged so that it's effectively watertight? Or do you mind if the mandrel comes out and leaves a hole? There's a lot of different kind of rivets, and Cherry Max rivets are not cheap either. Plus, of course, Spruce and their dang shipping charges. You have to spend so much to get free shipping. I don't want to spend that much. Anyway, most embarrassed right now on those dimples on the outboard side of this right stab. Those dimples are not looking pretty. But that is what I did, and that is what I'm sticking with. These were not so hard. It did take some getting used to on getting the bucking bar in my hand and holding it well. And also, one of the other errors that I was committing, the sins I was committing, was not holding the gun down tight enough, putting not enough pressure on the gun. So holding that down and flush against the skin. When I didn't do that right, the rivet would pop out a little bit, just sort of bounce and settle not flush. And some of those I might have drilled out, other ones I didn't. But anyway, I'm doing all these difficult ones that require me to stick my hands in. Nobody could really help me on this part, just because I couldn't figure out a way where Tony or Calista could help me. So they sort of stayed away, but as you're seeing now, Tony's popping in, and he's going to start helping me with the outsides. How do you like that, buddy?
Good.
Does it look like airplane wings?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, these are the back wings.
So this is how it's going to look like for the front wing.
Yeah, the front wings will be a lot bigger. So Tony's turned on the fan for me, and he's going to supposedly help me put some rivets in. I'm going to get him to climb up and help me once I've got this rear spar in place. But in the meantime, I've got to get this rear spar in place first, using these clecos to hold it. Then we've got to start using clecos on the top. I don't know if I'm underdoing the clecos or overdoing it. I've seen some people who just cleco the heck out of it. Every single hole has a cleco in it. And maybe that's better. But I figured 50% is pretty good, so that way I can work on the other 50%. I don't want to be sitting there taking out a cleco for every single rivet that I put in. That just seems overkill to me. Surely things can't be that far off with laser drilled holes. And Tony's still playing in the background. I think he pulls out a ball right around here, just having a blast. He loves talking to me and just playing. You're a rivet. I'll rivet you. I'll rivet you. I'll rivet you. Rivet. Now we've got me setting up the other skin. I decided if I'm going to go ahead and put the rear spar in, I might as well get this whole thing all lined up and do it all at once. Tony decided he wanted to play at the moment, so he didn't want to help me yet. Because this is a part where he actually could. He can set in some rivets, but, you know, I'm never going to make my kids do this stuff with me. It's really just whenever they want to, they're welcome to help me or play or whatever they want to do. And whenever they don't, okay, well, maybe I want to work on the plane. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm getting excited because I'm seeing this thing to come together. I'm thinking, man, I'm waiting on that check mark. The box at the bottom of this section says, congratulations, you finished your first subassembly. I'm waiting on that one. I can see the finish line of get all these rivets in, squeeze them down, couple of other touch-up things, and then you can check that box that says you finished your first subassembly. And that's exciting. Got a lot more subassemblies to do, and then putting them all together. But each step of this process, taking out Clecos, is a lot of fun. See my daughter popping out, talking into a fan. She's having a blast. It's cute, at least, having her around playing. I didn't make many mistakes in this area, but I definitely was not perfect. So one of the things that I made a mistake on here is not checking. Oh, there you go. See me drill out one rivet that I screwed up. Not checking the size of the squeezer. I have an adjustable squeezer head, and I guess it doesn't stay perfect. So I'm actually under squeezing most of these rivets, and I'm going to have to come back and do it again. And then my wife and daughter show up.
Wow. That's just nice.
Yeah, the hardest ones were the first ones. It was these 6. Everyone complains about these 6. Because I had to close this thing down, clamp it down, stick my hand way up under here, hold a metal bar, reach from the other side and shoot it with a gun.
Oh.
Annalisa tried to help me on a couple of them. It didn't go well. I had to drill them out and redo them.
Alright.
It did not go well. Love you too.
I have a thing today at Milton for my class, so we'll be leaving here at 1:30.
A thing, huh?
Yeah, I have to do
A thing with a thing.
yeah, thing.
And you heard me give some crap to my daughter for talking about the thing with the thing. She was a teenager at the time. She still is a teenager. I don't know when she's going to graduate from being a teenager. She's currently a 21-year-old teenager. Those of you who have kids understand that, you know, she's still a teenager till she moves out of the house. At least that's the way I see it. So I'll always mess with her when I can. But, of course, I love her. And she was out taking a look at the plane and was pretty impressed to see it all coming together. You know, she had seen it Clecoed, but now with that actually riveted, it almost looks like it's getting closer to a final product, you know? It's not, it is really kind of exciting to see and get all this stuff done. And my wife came out. She didn't really help so much. My daughter, Casey, the older one, the 21-year-old now, she doesn't really help. But I do have somebody who does help, and that is Tony. Do you want to do some rivets with me or no?
Sure.
Okay.
And I got that piece. You can have the red piece.
Okay, I gotta stand up to do most of the work anyway. What I need you to do is take these rivets, see this? This is a rivet, and put it in these holes. And hopefully it goes in nice and easy. Sometimes you have to push it a little bit. And if you can't get it in, let me know and I'll get it in, okay?
Okay.
You just put it in all the holes. Can you do that?
Okay.
Over here. They're all right here. They're all in the spots where I'm taking out the Clecos. Might have to get taller.
How do I do that?
You can go get a stool, or you can stand up, or whatever. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
Try your knees.
red seat. I can see on the red seat, and I can stand up on the red.
You think so? Okay.
I can. See?
Uh-huh. So Tony's helping me now. He is actually putting in the rivets and learning how to. so that I can do the next squeezer. So he's putting in a few rivets. Now he's going to go to the other side and put in some rivets. And we have a blast working together. Alright, how do they feel?
Good.
Pretty smooth, just a little bumpy? That's the way it should be. Alright, so you want to do this end now? This is the last part of this whole side. Now we're going to go do the rest of this side. I've already done the part you can't see there. Well, now you can see it on the, I guess it's the, I don't know, I can't tell whether it's top or bottom right now, but it's on the left side of the screen right now. We're going to do the last bit here. He's going to put in those rivets for me. And we'll just squeeze those last little ones, and we'll have half of this thing completely riveted. And Tony just likes being involved. Anything he can do, even if it doesn't really help, even if I'd be faster to put those things in, I definitely want my kids to enjoy being a part of this and feel a big sense of accomplishment when these sub-assemblies are finished. I definitely want him to enjoy the feeling of having built something with me. That's going to be a blast. Is that the last one? Alright. How we doing?
Good.
Look at that. This is the top of the back wing called the horizontal stabilizer.
Actually, Dad, we're doing great.
You think so? This is the top of the back wing called the horizontal stabilizer. Now I gotta flip it over to the bottom. Step out of the way. Ready?
Did you even start doing the bottom?
I did this part already. Now we gotta do these parts. And now we got the other side. This is the bottom, I believe. So now I'm working on the left bottom. Tony's gonna put in the rivets for me, and I'm gonna squeeze them. Now we went ahead and finished this entire thing. Unfortunately, the camera died, so you're not gonna get the final moment of like, look, we did it. My daughter apparently popped out and is again talking and playing with the fan. But yeah, anyway, the camera died, and we jumped to right about here. Way, I don't think you quite caught the finishing moments. I did finish the riveting. In general, I'm happy with it. I looked at these. These are all just a teeny, tiny bit undershot. I'll show you. So this click is supposed to click right on and not have much room. You can see there's just a tiny bit of room around that thing. And it's the right height. Like, you know, that's not supposed to cross over it. But there's just a tiny bit of room on the edges. So I'll probably go in and re-squeeze every single one of them just a teeny bit more to get that clip down. These were all the squeeze rivets. All the rest of them were shot by hand and checked. So anyway, I'm gonna, I guess, squeeze all these real quick a little bit more, and then oh, I did do these already. These are good and checked. And then I've got these still to go. And then these are blind rivet. And that's it. So as I mentioned, I undershot those rivets. I didn't squeeze them enough. I had them set. I had it set. Some of them were good in one area. And then I don't know what happened. I don't think I adjusted the length of the squeezer, but it definitely shortened or lengthened, whatever you want to call it, to where all these rivets were under squeezed. So I had to go back through and re-squeeze every single rivet. Maybe, I mean, it was like a 1/2 millimeter more. Or for the Americans, which I am one, about a 1/64 of a millimeter more. Now we're looking at the other rivets that I was not happy with. I had some smiley faces. Smiley faces are okay. You can Google that one. And then I've got some bad rivets over here that are actually going to need some work. So we'll see how those work out for me. I'm deciding which ones need to be redone and which ones don't. And I think I ended up doing 4. This one was one No, that one I'm good with. I'm going to stick with that's okay. So this one, and this one are going to get replaced. The rest of these way back here, they're beautiful and perfect. That one could use a little extra squeeze, but they're good. They're very good. They've all been checked. So that's it. That's the job for today. So I did actually end up taking out, I think 5 of those rivets actually. So the 3 that I pointed out definitely needed to go. And I think I went ahead and took out 1 more because taking out the rivets actually, it was a little scary, but not as bad as I thought. As long as you follow the directions of the wisdom of people that have gone before us, it's not so bad to just drill out with a smaller size in the middle, pop the head off, take them out. I think I've got a really good example of me taking out a rivet coming up here as far as what worked for me on these rivets that were no good. Drilling out, using the punch, drilling a hole out, twisting them with those clippers, and getting them out. It seemed to work. All right. That's what you want. When you've got the hole going through the rivet only, that's what you want. Got a circle right through the middle of the rivet. It means I didn't damage the hole. That's the way I was taught. Hole looks beautiful. I'm looking at it. This one looks good too. Just got to get the rivet out. Oh, it's twisting. It's coming right out. Here's another perfect example. This one I got the whole shank out cleanly. You can even see there's no damage to the shank. The hole I drilled is straight through the middle. It's beautiful. It's did not damage the hole. That means I don't have to upgrade rivet sizes because that worked so well. Now this one won't be as pretty, but hopefully it'll still be good. We'll find out here soon. I do have the piece off the back. Hole looks good on the back. And that's really it. The whole goal, at least with removing bad rivets, is you still need access to both sides if you're going to squeeze it. And I used the punch to really get a good center on it, but even then you've got to be really careful with the drill, I found out, and keep that thing pointed towards the center. Drill out a hole. If it's a flush rivet, it was easier just to drill just barely to the top of the hole and then try and break off the head and then pull out the rivet from the other side. The 426s, sorry, the 470s, the standard universal rivets, those, I found it easier just to drill a hole through the entire thing and then wiggle it and get it to pop out of the top or whatever. It seemed to work for me. Anyway, as long as you don't touch the sides of the hole, as long as you can see a hole straight through the rivet, then you don't have to redo the hole. And that was pretty successful for me on almost all of those. And then I do have an oops rivet kit that I've used a few times as well for rivets that don't go so well. Anyway, I'm sitting there playing with cleaning up, getting everything ready for the next step. Next video is going to be the vertical stabilizer. Thank you for watching. See you around.
Endeavour 5531, runway 28, clear to land.